So how'd you get into comedy?
So as a kid, I just always loved jokes. I always tried to make my older brother laugh. And I remember I got in trouble in the second grade where I took a joke book out of the library and I didn't return it because I just wanted to keep it. But I just was like a little comedy nerd, and I used to watch the Dick Van Dyke Show, and he was a comedy writer.
Yeah.
Because I didn't know how people became comedians. So I saw that, and as a 12-year-old, I was like, oh, well, that's a job. I could do that.
And you liked it.
I liked it, and I started writing jokes, and I had these little note cards, and I had like my mother's recipe box, like a little, and I would think of a joke and I would write it down because I thought, oh, I'm going to need these someday. And
Yeah.
I'm sure they were terrible. You know what I mean? I'm 13 or whatever. But I just always knew I wanted to do that. And then when I was in college, I saw a comedy show, and I talked to one of the comedians. He had a comedy club in Boston. So I would go to the shows.
Is that where you're from?
I'm just from outside of Boston. So he had a show in Cambridge, Mass. My friend Barry Kermans, and then I took a summer school class at Emerson College, taught by Dennis Leary, and we did stand up in the class. And then when it ended, he encouraged me to keep going, and so I started doing open mics, and I started getting some paid gigs. And then when I graduated from college, I just went full time, and I was able to kind of do a little better each year. And then when I did
You started to venture out of Boston right away?
Yes, yeah. You know, I kind of was lucky because there was a comedy boom at that time. So I would be doing like an Elks Club in Maine one night, and then I'd be doing like a college in New Hampshire the next night, and then a comedy club in Boston, and then just a bar in Rhode Island, whatever.
Getting your reps in.
Absolutely, and I was getting all these shows. There was so much work, so I was kind of getting to put my time in.
Yeah.
That 10,000 hours or whatever.
Yeah.
So I did that for about 10 or 12 years. And then I got hired at Conan. So Conan at the time was a new show, and people were saying, oh, it's only, it's not going to last. And I had 13-week contracts. And I thought, okay, I'll go do this for 13 weeks or 26 weeks. And then it kind of just kept going. And then it ended up lasting 27 years. So, or really 28 years, because I just did the Oscars with them. So,
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So you never know, So I was able to have, my kids were able to grow up, and I was able to give them food and shelter. And so it just kind of worked out.
My wife's Armenian, right? And I think he had this Armenian assistant.
Oh, Conan does?
He did.
Oh, you talking about Sona?
Sona, yeah,
Yes,
Sona.
yes.
And I
Sona's great.
read her book because I saw like an article, and then
Sure,
I saw
sure.
YouTube, and then I started laughing. It was like really funny, just their
She's
dynamic.
very funny. She's still with them. They're a great combo. She's a great foil for him.
Because she's like, they're like, they're like very loyal. And
Yes.
So they'll say it how it is though to you.
Yes, she's very direct.
Direct, yeah.
But she's got a great sense of humor. And they have a nice chemistry and a nice rapport, So she's huge in the Armenian community.
Yeah. One of my daughters is named Sona as well.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
great. Yeah, so she's great. And so they do a podcast together.
Oh, they do?
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's just fun to hear her on there. She just lost her house in the fire
Oh,
a couple
wow.
months ago. Altadena.
Wow.
I know. And she's got 2 little twin boys.
Oh, wow.
But, I've seen her since. I've seen her a few times.